Hey, what's a female like you doing here? Wait, no, let me guess. You're probably just looking for a high value man. Well, today's your lucky day because you're looking right at one. Currently making over five figures annually, placing me in the top 1% of men. This watch, three figures. I could spoil you if I really wanted to. I can tell you probably have never felt what that's like. Let's just say you might be able to become one of my females. That is, if I'm even interested, of course. There would have to be some sort of audition that would need to happen in the break room, if you know what I mean. And I would also need to know your body count. But you might have a solid shot at becoming a high value man's female. You just got hired over here? Yeah, right. Maybe as Scott's new assistant. You're the new floor manager? That can't be right. Please, just keep this between us. Just the two of us. Because I can't go back to Burger King. You're gonna go to Scott? Why? I was just messing around. You're mid anyways. I would never actually even go for you. Wait, where are you going? Please, come back. Considering we're meeting on Tinder and this is my first time seeing you, I think we should skip going to our first date. I think you should consider doing a gym date instead. Because honestly, from the looks of you, you could really use a treadmill. I mean, seriously. You are clearly too big, too large. There's really no nice way of putting this, but too fat to become one of my wives right now. And I'll let you eventually work up to becoming one of my wives, which will definitely be your greatest accomplishment. But first, no high value man can even be seen with a torta like you. I'm just not into tortas. So, me even being in the car discussing this with you, God forbid somebody saw us, my high value man status would get reduced to a medium value man. And that's like being fucking Fisher Price. Like, I can't have that happen. If any high value man from my community saw me hanging out with a torta, I would get my title redacted. And I'm a certified mentor on Hustlers University. I'm certified, which means I coach young, like-minded entrepreneurs to become multi-millionaires like this. I coach them and I'm certified. And I would lose my certification if I was even seen with a torta. And speaking of which, how many bodies do you even have? Do you even have any bodies? Because that's really all that matters. You don't have any bodies? Okay. That's good. We can work with that. We can make that work. But only if you're serious about this and you're disciplined. Do you want financial freedom? I can give you financial freedom. Look, I'm a six-figure earner. I don't have time for whatever it is you're selling. Whoa, I might have some special time for you. Gotta admit, this is a pleasant surprise. You must be knocking on my door because you're here at this complex looking for a high-value man such as myself. Either that or you're selling Girl Scout cookies. And by the looks of you, I'd say it's the first option. I bet you're surprised I even opened the door to my oasis here. But let's get one thing straight. I'm gonna be honest. You're a solid 7, maybe an 8 if you can cook a steak medium rare. However, I've got a podcast recording in about 10 minutes. You're probably gonna wanna just come in, sit in silence for a little bit while I drop some knowledge. Will be good for your development as one of my females. And before you're too starstruck by this magnificent place I'm in, yes, I do own it outright. And no, it was not cheap, baby. That's just the kind of thing you get when you're in the top 1% of men nationally. Well, what is it that you're waiting for? If you're not here to become one of my females or give me a back massage, then why don't you turn around and head the other way? Because you are interrupting my grind. Wait, what? What's that clipboard for? You're the landlord? Wait. I can explain. Yes, I know I'm 3 weeks late, but please don't change the locks. I can Venmo you by Friday. That's when I get paid from Burger King. Excuse me. I couldn't help but notice that you were portraying clear physical signs of wanting to be approached by a high value man. This car, 5 figures. This watch, 4 figures. At least. Yeah, baby girl, your physical signs are telling me that you've never been approached by a high value man before. How does it feel? Now, you know what? You don't have to answer that right now. Why don't you come around and hop in the passenger seat of my car? You hear that? That's 500 horses, baby. Yeah, you like the way that sounds, don't you? Don't get too soiled now down there. Wouldn't want to dirty up the leather in my car. You don't want to go? No, I see what's going on. Most females are scared to admit that they want a high value man to come in and approach them. Now, come on, what are you waiting for? Let me show you what it's like to be a high value man's female. You have a boyfriend? You don't have a boyfriend. Where's he at? He's not here. I don't see him. Which means he's probably at some 9 to 5, and that makes him a low value man. So why don't you save yourself the trouble? Go ahead and upgrade to a high value man and hop in. No? You're a hoe. And I was just kidding, by the way. You thought I was serious? You think I'd ever approach you and try and pick you up? No, absolutely not. You're a torta. Forget I even came over here, okay? Yeah. excuse me. That outfit that you're wearing is extremely inappropriate to be wearing out in public. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I'm gonna say is if you were my female and you were wearing shorts like that, I'd never let you leave the house. Only around me you'd be allowed to wear that. I mean, if I was your boyfriend, I'd definitely be cheating on you because you going out dressed like that is essentially you cheating on me because you're revealing yourself to other men and those men are not me. You've never been talked to this way? Yeah. Well, it's about time that someone got you in line. If I didn't know any better, I'd think you have an OnlyFans. But from me analyzing your physical signs, what I'm getting at from you is that you grew up without a father figure. Is that true? You don't feel comfortable answering? Yeah, called it. It's okay. I can take you under my wing and be that father figure that you never had. Of course, you'd be one of my many females. There'd definitely be a little bit of a transition period, having to do chores all over again, cooking, cleaning, stuff you maybe have never done. But after a few weeks, you get really used to it and start living the good life, the life of knowing that you're a high value man's female. You don't want to do that. It's just so funny because you know what? You're going to be 40, fat, ugly, and single. And no man is even going to want to look your way because you didn't give me a chance. That's what's going to happen. That's set in stone for you after what you just did. Pathetic. You think I even want you? I was going to do you a favor by bringing you in as one of my females. I'm not going to do that anymore. Even if you wanted to, I wouldn't let you. Hey. Couldn't help but notice you walked through the door over there. And I also saw that you couldn't help but notice what was on my wrist. 3 figures, baby. You weren't looking at my watch? Sure, whatever you say. I know what I saw. Most women get pretty soiled down there when they notice. No big deal, though. Let me buy you a drink. What's a female like you usually drinking? You're not interested? I think you'd rethink that if you knew that I actually happen to be a high-value man, currently making well over 4 figures per paycheck, and being over 5'6", placing me in the top 1% of men globally. So, no need to play hard to get. I can tell that that's what you needed to hear. What? Wait, what? You're a lesbian? You don't look like a lesbian. Come on, I can change your mind. A fine female like you should belong to a high-value man like me. Come on, why don't we go on over back to my place where I can get an OnlyFans page set up for you, where I take 95% of the profits, you take 10%, and we start living the good life. I do have to warn you, though, in case you're the possessive type, I'm gonna need to have my usual females in rotation, if you know what I mean. Because that's just what a high-value man needs. It's how we operate. So I'll just need you to be okay with that. What the heck? Where are you going? This is like the 4th one today.